Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today's topic is persecution on the companions of the Holy Prophet. This is second part of the persecution of the early Muslims. In this lecture, first of all, I am going to mention the past paper questions of O Level Islamiyat on this topic. Question 1 is: describe the difficulties faced by the followers of the Prophet in Makkah. Question 2 is: describe the persecution faced by the first Muslims in Makkah. Question 3 is: give an account of the persecutions faced by the early converts to Islam in Makkah. Question 4 is: give an account of the difficulties experienced by the early Muslim community in Makkah. Question 5 is: the Muslims in Makkah faced a lot of hostility after the Prophet began preaching openly. Describe the persecutions against the followers of Prophet at that time. Question 6 is: describe the main difficulties faced by the early followers of Islam. Question 7 is: give an account of the persecution faced by the early followers of Islam. Question that we are going to cover is: give an account of the persecution faced by the early followers of Islam. In the answer of this question, we will discuss these points. First, introduction. Second, reason of the persecution. Third, companions. Dear students, in companions, the number of companions who were persecuted is very large. But we will only discuss those who are required in the marking scheme. In companions, first is Uthman bin Affan, second is Bilal ibn Rabah, third is Mus'ab bin Umair, fourth is Ammar bin Yasir, fifth is parents of Yasir, sixth is Khabbab bin al-Arad, seven is Fuqayha, real name Aflah, 8 is Haris bin Hala, 9th is Zinira, and 10th is Nahdiya. Next at outcomes and conclusion. Dear student, make first paragraph of your answer as an introduction. Add these points in introduction in your own words. When the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, began preaching of Islam in Makkah, many people accepted the new faith despite the strong opposition from the Quraysh. The early Muslims, especially the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, suffered different forms of persecution at the hands of Quraysh. Poor Muslims, slaves, and weak members of society, and those who had no tribal protection faced the harshest treatment because the Quraysh feared that Islam would weaken their power, social status, and religious traditions. Next, need to add reason of persecution. Then Makkah started persecuting the strongly opposed the message of Islam because Islam challenged their idol worship, tribal pride, and social system. They feared that if people accepted Islam, their authority and influence in Makkah would weaken. They were also worried that the Kaaba, which attracted pilgrimage because of the idols, would lose its importance and harm their trade and economy. Islam also taught equality and threatened the status of rich and poor. Dear students, now we are going to discuss about the companions of Quraysh persecuting on them. You can start from the committee of 25 people under the leadership of Abu Lahab. From companions, one of them was Hazrat Uthman bin Affan. His uncle used to wrap him in a mat of palm leaves. He lighted a fire under him to choke him with smoke, demanding he return to idol worship. Second of them was Hazrat Bilal ibn Rabah. Umayya bin Khalf used to throw his Abyssinian slave Bilal on the hot sand under the burning sun. He put a heavy stone on his chest and leave him there to die, for no reason except his insistence upon Islam. Bearing this torture patiently, Bilal kept on repeating Ahad, Ahad, means Allah is one, Allah is one. When Abu Bakr saw him being tortured so brutally, he bought him from his master and set him free. Third of them was Mus'ab bin Umair. When the mother of Mus'ab bin Umair heard of her son's conversion, she put him to starvation and then expelled him from her house. Initially, he used to enjoy a luxurious life, but reason for opposition by Quraysh against Islam. In the aftermath of the torture he faced, his skin got badly burnt and he assumed a horrible physical appearance. Next of them was Ammar bin Yasir. Another victim of the Quraysh was Ammar bin Yasir, a freed slave of Bani Makhzum. He, along with his mother and father, embraced Islam in its early phase. They were made to lie on the burning sand and were beaten severely. Ammar was at times tossed upon the embers. Next was family of Ammar bin Yasir. Yasir, the father of Ammar, eventually died because of the repeated tortures. His mother Sumayya was put to death by Abu Jahal, who pierced her stomach with a spear. She merited the title of first woman martyred in Islam. The Prophet always comforted them and raised his hands in prayer and said, "Be patient, O family of Yasir. You will verily find your adobe in paradise." Next was Khabbab bin al-Arat. Khabbab bin al-Arat was also another victim of the Quraysh brutality. The Meccan polytheist used to pull his hair and twist his neck and made him lie on burning coal with a big rock on his chest to prevent him from escaping. Next was Fuqaha, real name Aflah. He was also persecuted. They would lay him down on very hot sand and place a stone on his back so that he could not move. Next was Haris bin Hala. Haris bin Hala was a blacksmith. He was tortured and killed. Next were An-Nahdiya and Zinnira. Even women converted were not spared. Among them were An-Nahdiya and Zinnira, who was persecuted badly. When her master pierced a hot iron rod in her eyes, Zinnira lost her eyesight completely. Some of the companions were thrown into an animal enclosures and then were dragged in the hot sun. Later, a social boycott and economic boycott was imposed on the Banu Hashim, and they were to live in Shi'b Abi Talib, where they faced great hardship for nearly 3 years. Because of the persecutions, the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, allowed some people to migrate to Abyssinia. Dear students, after discussing about the persecution on the companions of Prophet, need to add outcomes, but this depends on the keywords of questions. Means, is there need to mention outcomes or not? Outcomes are, despite all the torture and persecution, every Muslim remained steadfast and did not renounce the true faith. The early Muslims, although limited in number, had a very firm belief in Allah and His Prophet. Instead of reacting to the torture, they showed great courage and patience. Abu Bakr utilized his wealth for the cause of Islam and freed many Muslim slaves after buying them from their cruel master. In the light of such persecutions, Prophet Muhammad advised his followers to conceal their faith. In last add a paragraph as conclusion, the persecution of the companions showed their great faith, patience, and sacrifice for Islam. Their suffering strengthened the Muslim community and proved their sincere belief in Allah and His Messenger, peace be upon him. Their courage remains an important example for Muslims throughout history. Dear student, discuss all these points in your answer in paragraphic way. The space that you are given in paper is 2.5 pages. Organize your answer accordingly, focusing more on facts and figures rather than going into too much detail. Thank you, Allah.